Welcome, and I'm so glad that we found each other. If you'd like to jump ahead to the monthly tarot read, check the timestamps in the description below. However, if you'd indulge me, I'd like to share something with you that I find really fascinating. Did you know that the tarot deck actually has a built-in calendar system? There are specific cards that govern specific dates. I'd like to address these before the read to give us a deeper sense of the energies we might be working with in tandem with the cards I actually pull. A quick disclaimer before we begin. Tarot reading is for entertainment purposes only. Tarot is not meant to replace real mental health experts, licensed therapists, or medical professionals. If you or someone that you know is struggling, I've listed resources below. So, addressing the calendar of the cards, we're going to be looking at two sides of the cards that do this. We have the court cards, which are the kings, queens, knights, and pages. These act as kind of a presiding personality over roughly a 1-month window. And the small cards, also called pips, the cards numbered 2 through 10, describe the specific energy of each 10-day window. Now, I don't want to get too in the weeds here about the minutia of which cards correspond to which dates. If you're interested in learning more about the dates as they relate to the cards, be sure to let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to make a separate video. However, I do want to give you some of this information to think about the macro themes of the month and see how it interplays with the specifics of the read. Starting off the month, we have the Knight of Pentacles until May 10th, followed by the King of Swords on May 11th. This energy will be presiding over things through the entire month. And then underneath these court cards, we have the small cards, the Six of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Eight of Swords. These will inform more of the day-to-day happenings. So what does all of this mean? Well, you might be starting off the month having laid a lot of groundwork to get a new contract, a promotion, a medical diagnosis, particularly since the Pentacles rules both money and health. Then, toward the middle of the month, it's about putting that plan into action, laying the seeds and foundation that you need to have things grow. You'll likely be using the approval or the guidance that you received at the beginning part of the month and putting those things into action. Then, by the end of the month, you might be feeling some imposter syndrome. There might be a little bit of anxiety about what lies ahead. If this resonates with you, I want you to remember you can only control what you can control. Sometimes the narratives that we tell ourselves inside of our heads are worse than what's actually happening around us. So with all of that in mind, let's go ahead and get into our pull. I'll be doing a 10-card spread, a classic Celtic Cross for our monthly readings moving forward. So we have where you're at present, the obstacles surrounding you, what crowns you, what grounds you, what you're moving away from, what you're moving toward, how you feel about the situation, how others feel about the situation, your hopes and dreams, and the ultimate outcome. So as we begin this read, we unfortunately have the Three of Swords. However, it is in the reversal position. So this would indicate that perhaps there's been a lot of heartbreak, some disappointment, maybe some things that you didn't expect to have happen, and you are finding a way to move through it. So you're not moving around it, you're moving right through it. Good for you. And finding your healing. So continue to go on this path, continue to hook into things that make you feel good, that help you move on from difficult situations, because like all things, the rain and the stormy clouds, these too shall pass. The obstacle that you might be dealing with, Queen of Cups, this might have a lot to do with feeling highly emotionally charged about this heartbreaking situation. So maybe there's been an inability to quiet your mind, quiet your heart, and find productive ways of moving forward. Don't let yourself drown in emotions. Certainly don't deny if you are feeling sad or hurt, but you need to find ways of grounding and rooting yourself back down into the ground instead of letting the waters of emotion kind of cascade all over you. Things that you might not be aware of, what crowns you. So circumstances that might be outside of your control, the Knight of Pentacles. So we talked about how this is going to be the thing opening our month. So this might be a time where you simply have to put your head down and work. It is the theme of the moment. And whether you like it or not, this is your time to step in, work hard, and lay that foundation that you're going to need to have to get over the heartache or to get over whatever this thing is that hasn't been working very well for you. So the Knight of Pentacles is not the sexy knight, but he is the knight that gets things done. He's the person you're going to call in a pinch. So if this is you or someone that you know, allow this person to help pull you out of your rut. What grounds you? So things that you are very aware of or needing to work toward, you have the Page of Pentacles reversed. So don't procrastinate. Maybe you're having a hard time focusing and finding your spark in terms of wanting to get things done and to put the plans in place. However, that's the theme. This is really all about cultivating self discipline right now so that you are not putting things on the back burner, letting things slide that you could have gotten done yesterday. So, if you struggle with maybe prioritizing how to start projects, you can make a list and then start picking away at the things that are easiest. At least you'll continue to get the ball rolling as opposed to just letting everything fall flat. In your most recent past, the Four of Pentacles, this would kind of say it does sort of indicate that maybe there was some job loss or some sort of a financial or stable material loss. That can also be health as well. We kind of talked and touched on that. And there's a lot of pentacles happening right now. So this would indicate a need to save money, to buckle down, to be really conservative in how it is that you're going about investing in things and spending and that. Also, it can indicate a fear of losing the stability that you have so hard won for yourself as well. But remember, the Four of Pentacles tells you, remember that what is meant for you will not miss you. You always have what you need, and that abundance is a circle. So, trusting that you have enough and being open to the flow of giving and taking money is also a very important lesson. And in the very immediate future, this is lovely, the Ten of Cups. So this is complete emotional fulfillment, family fulfillment, right? You have a family of four individuals here laughing and dancing and holding their hands up to the sky. So in spite of maybe some setbacks, some heartbreak, some, quandaries in terms of how to get the ball moving, how to create a new list, like where do I go now? There might be some family members or really supportive individuals that have been a part of your life, right? Not just blood family, but chosen family as well, who really might come through and really might help get you to that next place. I love the Ten of Cups. It is really the emotional fulfillment, right? So I hope that that comes to pass and is helpful for you. So, how you feel about this month, kind of the theme for your month, Ace of Cups. This is love, emotions, and very much hooks to the Queen of Cups, which was kind of in our obstacle position. So there might be a lot of love to discover, a lot of love to remember, maybe a self love to focus on as well, right? Just a lot of emotional, a very full cup, literally and figuratively. So I love the Ace of Cups as a very auspicious sign that says that there's just a lot of love in you and around you. So don't hesitate to share that with people that you care about and also with yourself. How others and your environment sort of see your situation. The Two of Wands. So if you're feeling emotional, sad, overwhelmed by certain circumstances, do know that other people see you as being very capable and believe that you can figure it out and figure out what you need to do to get to that next place in your life. So if you've been feeling held back and confused and emotional and overwhelmed, know that there are people rooting for you that are like, no, you're totally capable. Being in a rut, learning is not the same thing as failing, right? So don't hesitate to keep iterating on whatever it is that you're doing and coming up with new and creative ways of working around obstacles. You don't have to get upset. You need to get creative and you need to use your resources. Hopes and fears, death. But it's death reversed. Don't be afraid of this card. Death and the devil are oftentimes deeply misunderstood. So the death card is about endings, but there's also quite a bit of hope after the ending as well. So it signifies death in many ways is about transformation. It is about moving through something to the next phase of whatever it is you need to do. So, given that there's been a lot of maybe emotional upheaval, a lot of sort of personal concerns about what's next, am I going to be broke? What's happening? You have to let things go away in order to come to the other side and to come to a new place in your life. So don't hesitate and don't hold back so much that you don't allow cycles to keep moving forward. This doesn't necessarily represent completion. That would be more of the world card, but the death card does signify a great transformation taking place and one that is necessary in the middle part of your journey in order to keep going to the next phase. Last but not least, Knight of Swords reversed, right? So there's the upright. Here's the reversal position. So interesting that we were ending the month on the King of Swords, which has a very authoritative energy to that person. And again, that's sort of that macro level discussion that we had earlier on. So the Knight of Swords is not afraid to dive headfirst into battle, almost a little bit aggressively. It can be a little bit pushy. And the reversal could either indicate that there's a blockage, so either not wanting to come into your pushy, assertive, aggressive side, or that you are being way too much, that you are diving into something head first and cutting everything in your path, maybe even including yourself without a second thought. So know that whatever sword it is that you have, and the sword's suit is all about the mind. It's an air suit, right? So it's all mental clarity, mental things going on. This would say to me, this is someone who maybe has a very cutting tongue to them and who doesn't hesitate to attack because they're feeling insecure some kind of way about something. So just be cautious about how these endings and emotional upheavals are making you maybe really in your head or saying things that you don't mean. Just think twice before you go into saying things that you perhaps don't intend to hurt people. In summation, I think there's the potentiality for a lot of healing this month, especially if you have been feeling sad or a little bit lost or like you're not quite sure where the next leg of your path is. It would seem to me that a lot of outsiders have a lot of hope for you, maybe want to help connect the dots for you, are full of a lot of love for you. There is a ton of love to be had this month, both giving and taking, right? So reminding yourself that you get back what it is that you put out into the world. Think about some of those things as you go into this month. If this resonated, share it with someone who needs this message this month. Thank you so much for joining me for this month's reading. Remember, you have the power to work with these energies consciously. The cards show us possibilities, not certainties. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and trust your intuition above all else. If you found this helpful, I'd love for you to like, share, or comment with what you found most useful. And I'll see you next month for another pull. Until then, trust yourself and move with intention. Take care.